kindergarten through 12th grade students will be receiving financial aid to purchase food. It's all in an effort to help reimburse students from when they were virtually learning from home and did not have access to school lunches. Our Francis Felix reports.
Students from public schools and private educational institutions attached to the School Lunchrooms program of the Department of Education will receive, starting this week, financial aid to buy food for the time they took their classes in a hybrid or virtual way and did not have access to the lunchroom service during this 2021-2022 school year. Thousands of students throughout the island will be able to purchase unprepared food in more than 3,000 stores certified by the Department of the Family. The Secretary of the Family, Carmen Ana Gonzalez, specified that the aid will begin to be reflected this week in those accounts of public students who participate in the Nutritional Assistance Program. Each student will receive $28 per virtual or hybrid day for the 2021-2022 school year. Any minor enrolled in the school system or in private educational institutions that belong to the Department of Education School Lunchrooms program is eligible. The payment will be retroactive to August 2021. In the second stage, Department Education students not participating in the Nutritional Assistance Program must visit the portal www.pr.gov and complete the requested information to receive their card with the benefits. Reporting from San Juan, Puerto Rico, Francis Felix.
All right, thanks, Francis. Well, now switching gears to the latest on the pandemic. And the U.S. Food and Drug Administration says it's putting strict limits on the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine. The organization says that emergency use authorization of the COVID vaccine is suggested only to people 18 years and older who cannot receive any other vaccine, or if they specifically request the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. The FDA said in a statement that the change is being made due to the risk of a rare and dangerous clotting condition that's a syndrome after receiving the vaccine. The agency says the updated authorization also applies to booster shots. For months, U.S. authorities have recommended that Americans starting their COVID vaccinations use Pfizer or Moderna instead of Johnson & Johnson. And now to a COVID outbreak on board a Carnival cruise ship, which recently made a stop in the Caribbean. Some of the passengers say they feel the cruise line mishandled the outbreak. The ship's now docked in Seattle, and as reporter Lauren Donovan tells us, travelers are now in quarantine on land.
I have over 275 sea days on Carnival.
At this point, Karen Ross might as well be a sailor. The 75-year-old has been a loyal Carnival customer, but after what just happened,
I'm worried for everybody on that cruise.
she's sounding the alarm.
I think they don't want the news out. And I think this is all about making it go under the rug as quickly as possible.
Karen tells us while aboard this ship, the Carnival Spirit, her roommate tested positive for COVID-19. Instead of sending that roommate to a separate room for isolation, she was told to quarantine in the cabin she shared with Karen. According to Karen, when she asked to be tested too, the medical center told her that was not necessary.
I'm in a room with somebody who has COVID and you're not interested in testing me.
Meantime, Karen was allowed to roam the boat as she pleased.
I could be COVID positive walking around.
I've been on 7 cruises since August. And of course, COVID is always a concern. But unfortunately, this ship was so unprepared and so mismanaged that many of us suffered greatly.
Darren Seifertson was also on board. He says what started out as the trip of a lifetime through Jamaica and the Panama Canal ended in a nightmare when he tested positive for COVID and was forced into isolation in his cabin.
I literally stayed in this room for 6 days with no telephone service, They wouldn't answer the phone.
Darren says Carnival then posted lists on each floor of people who tested positive for COVID and their room numbers. We counted more than 35 people listed on 2 floors, Darren among them.
It's not right what they did. They posted names and room numbers at the elevators of people that were in isolation for COVID.
When it was time to disembark Tuesday, Darren says he was lined up with other COVID-positive passengers and waited for hours before getting a ride to the DoubleTree by the airport for further quarantine.
They were not telling the drivers that we were COVID positive.
I asked management at Carnival to respond to the specific accusations made. They replied with this email confirming COVID cases were documented, but refused to say how many. They did say, quote, no serious health issues were recorded, and that we made arrangements and have offered to share the cost of lodging while they remain in Seattle to complete their 5-day quarantine.
In meantime, Travel Airlines has announced it's reducing access to its exclusive Sky Clubs. Now the move is in an effort to cut down on crowding inside of the popular airport lounges. Delta says it is seeing high volumes of Delta Sky Club visitors due to so many people traveling during the travel season. The members-only lounges offer free food and drinks and comfortable and spacious seating. From now on, Sky Club members will be restricted to access only within 3 hours of their departure, and they won't be able to stop in the lounge on their way out of the airport. The only exception will be people flying Delta One business class. The new restrictions take effect June 1st. And switching gears now to the latest in Jamaica. Police in Jamaica say there have been a drop in major crime since the start of 2022. The Jamaica Force, the JSCF, reported an overall 6.4% decline. Incidents of rape went down over 21%, shootings declined by 12.4%, and robberies fell by 9.7%. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson said there has also been a 1.7% increase in murders that he said was due to a gang and personal conflicts, other criminal acts like mob killings.
Western Jamaica accounts for the largest increase, and we have and will be committing additional and specific resources over the next couple of months. So we should see some improvement there. In terms of break-ins, divisional plans have been adjusted to address this issue.
In the meantime, the police commissioner also revealed that 268 legal firearms and over 5,500 rounds of ammunition have been seized since the start of the year. He said joint anti-gang task forces have been very active since its implementation and has been responsible for several arrests and seizures, including of cars, bikes, and other items used in crime.
We will continue to go after the money, the drugs, and the criminals. The team, and in particular our rank and file members, have demonstrated their commitment and resolve to keeping our people safe.